Between September 1999 and May 2000, the entire world was obsessed with the same thing. Right smack dab in the middle of these two dates was the upcoming downfall of computers, telephones, and all things that are electronic. But with the one exception of me keeping my feet off the ground between 1999 and 2000 just in case I would float forever, I didn't care about Y2K. All I cared about was Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Tony Hawk Pro Skater came out in 1999 on the PlayStation 1, which I did not have or know about. I really honestly thought it was one of those Hot Wheels situations. And boy was I wrong. This thing was revolutionary, and it let kids around the whole world play games with insane graphics, like Spyro the Dragon, which I did not play, Tomb Raider, which my brothers played, and Crocker, which I played, which I later found out was actually called Croc, which despite my nostalgic memories is probably fitting for both this game and its 2025 remaster, considering that both of them are a crock of shit. More on that remake in a future video. Possibly. Maybe not though. But I didn't get to play Tony Hawk on PlayStation 1. I didn't even get to play Tony Hawk on my favorite console, the N64. Shout out Rumble Packs. I played it on the only console whose launch commercial featured a Mission Impossible style spy stealing the console, CGI planes crashing out of the sky, and had a budget large enough to explode a van, or to make a van explode. That's right, it's the Sega Dreamcast. Known mostly for its biggest releases like Sonic Adventures, Jet Set Radio, and Space Channel 5. Space Channel 5. Which apparently is a rhythm game where you dance fight aliens to save space Michael Jackson. Hard to believe I missed that one, but for me, it was the home of my favorite game, which I simply called Tony Hawk. Originally released on Dreamcast in May of 2000, Tony Hawk quickly became my favorite and most frustrating game of all time, or at least of that moment. While there are 9 total levels, not including the Infinity Ramp in Skate Heaven, there are only 6 levels where you collect these VHS tapes to progress through the campaign. Some tapes are very easy to collect, while others proved very difficult for me as a child, and as an adult, starting with The Warehouse. If you've played Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1, you've almost certainly played the warehouse level, and we all know which tape is the hardest one to collect on this level. So let's just get it out of the way and get this... That actually wasn't that hard. Correct! Because it's not the hardest tape. The hardest tape in the warehouse is the boxes. They're always on top of something, and they're hard to get to, and honestly, it's just rude. It's really frickin' rude. Admittedly, none of these tapes are actually that difficult in the warehouse. It's level 1, but I would say for me, overall, the boxes are the most difficult on level 1. Moving on. Next up is the school. This level is significantly trickier, which is good because at this point we're already 16.667% done with this game on level 2. There is a lot of frustrating tapes to collect here. These textbooks, which are scattered all over the place, never leaving a good path to collect them all, but by far, the hardest tape was the frickin' wall bells. I wasn't very good at this game, and also I did not know how to wall ride as a child because no one taught me how to do that, and the game doesn't tell you. Plus, there was basically no internet. You couldn't look it up. You just had to find it in one of those thick cheat books. But this isn't even a cheat, it's a game mechanic! Even when I was lucky enough to randomly get a few of these bells, there was no way that I was going to be able to collect this one. I failed thousands of times. Trying to stay on this stupid narrow grass path almost always failed miserably. Also, shout out to my favorite tape on this level, grinding the lunch tabletops. It is very fun and very easy, and I just decided right now that I'm also going to add my favorite tapes to get in every level as well as the hardest ones. So tabletops is for the school, and for the warehouse, it's the secret tape, because that was the most fun tape to get on that level. No matter what, you know it, I know it, we all know it. That's the best one in warehouse. It's time for the mall. Lots of these tapes are hard to get. The directories through narrow jumps like this, the robots that hide out of sight, and nose grinding the coffee gap. Actually, that one's pretty easy, and my favorite tape of the level, so congratulations. But the hardest tape by far is really two tapes in one. Airwalk, the flying leap gap, and the secret tape. It's really just the airwalk part, honestly. And that's because you have to remember how to do an airwalk, which is two directions at once and a grab. Then you have to land not only on the suspended rigging in the mall, but also land on the ground in order to officially get it to tape. If you fall, no tape. If you don't land on the ground, no tape. You have to land it to get it to tape. Up next is the skate park, which we are going to skip because there are no tapes in this level. It's just a tournament competition deal. And now that we have crushed the competition and walked away with gold, the next dark and dirty level is downtown. And there is one clear and distant winner for the hardest tape in this level. Do not at me, do not tell me I'm wrong. It is 100%, without a doubt, olling the parked cars. No, that's my favorite one. The hardest tape is completing the 3 roof gaps. This is endlessly frustrating, mostly because it's very time consuming, and if you miss one gap, you basically have to start the entire level over. This wouldn't be as bad if not for the fact that you have to land this one on the rail and grind it in order for it to count. You can't fall, you can't land on the ground, you can't hit this sign, you have to land on the rail. Speaking of rails, close runner-up to the hardest and most frustrating tape on this level are the signs. They're small, thin, and difficult to hit, just like me. And this stupid one specifically left me spinning in circles for hours. Okay, so I got it that time. Bad example. Next up is another competition at Burnside, Skip. We've collected our medal and we are off to our final level. One of my absolute favorites, the sunny, the beautiful, the streets. Oh wait! I completely skipped over my favorite level, and that is the sunny, the beautiful, downhill jam. This level was next to impossible for me as a kid. The secret tape was an infuriating balance of pure excitement and absolute rage to get. But still, it was not the hardest tape to get in that level. It was the valves. Nope, not even that one. It was the one that I could not do. Time after time after time, trying to Madonna the huge water gap. It's much easier for me now, but the combination of trying to land a Madonna while also somehow jumping over a huge ravine was almost impossible. But I did it. And also, since I didn't say it already, my favorite tape is the secret tape. It is a joy to get there. No, it is a joy to get and a pain to get there. But I did it. But still, I will never, ever, ever be happy trying to Madonna the water gap. And lastly, we go back to the streets. I love this level. It's bright, it's sunny, it's fun, and it's not without its challenges. This is the first level where finding all the letters in Skate is an actual real challenge, mostly because the K is hiding in this silly little area, the T doesn't want to be found either, and the E is hovering over this giant bull. It's definitely the hardest skate to collect, but still not the hardest tape. Nor is it my favorite. That's grinding the cop cars. Fight the power, baby. The hardest tape just might be the secret tape. It's annoying to get up to the building, it's annoying to climb the building, it's annoying to scale the ramp, and all of that just to miss the tape once you've done it all. This might actually be the most frustrating tape in the entire game. And there it is, right up there. Right up, it's just right there. Now this might not actually be the hardest tape on this level because we still have to 5-0 the fountain. This took me so long to do, even as an adult. Okay, that was fast. I guess the secret tape is the hardest on this level. Those are the hardest tapes in Tony Hawk Pro Skater number 1. Now, while I'm sure that everything I've said is 100% factually true, you can tell me in the comments where I've gotten it wrong just as soon as you subscribe to the channel. That's how it has to work. I don't make the rules, I just enforce them. Unless, of course, you want an army of these little robots coming after you, and honestly, who has the time for that? Not me. Love you, mean it, bye. Really dented it.